if you look at the fact that I even got hired by Commodore, it was just like luck, pure luck. And I didn't help that luck at all when, see, I'm from, Commodore had moved from the West Coast because it cost too much for engineers. That's what we were told, the cost of living and everything. So they moved out to Westchester, Pennsylvania, and they would go to these headhunters and we'd bring people like me through. And when I talked to the first guy, I blew it. He wasn't interested in me. And I'm like, oh, this isn't going well. And so I sat down with the second guy, and it was kind of not going well. And then he said something like, Lodex immediate 05. And I muttered the code under my breath because I had worked with 6502s. I'm like, A205. And he looked at me, he said, store immediate 7. I'm like, AD01. And I didn't know, but I saw his body language change, and that was it. I mean, that was that breaking moment was when I knew these codes inside the machine, so never black box anything. And he says, well, I want you to swing by something like tomorrow. And I said, okay, I'll be. I didn't know he was asking me to come by the main factory for Commodore for more job interviews. So I show up in jeans. I didn't even bring a resume, right? Because he'd already seen it. And then when they said, you'll be interviewing with Shiraz Shivji, Shiraz, his office, he had this beautiful window view. So he had turned his desk around to look at it. Well, I thought, what a great looking chair. And I plopped down in it. When he walks in the office, I'm in his chair. And he's like, excuse me, you're in my chair. And I'm like, oh, this is not going well. And then he goes, where's your resume? And I said, I don't have it. And so then the first guy that I hadn't gotten good with goes, I've got his resume, Shiraz. And so during the interview, you know, so we start talking about digital scales. Why not talk about what I know? And I did make a mistake. I said something about a reference weight, and it was actually a reference mass, and he corrected me. But the moment he corrected me, that's when I was hired. And remember that with managers, always leave something they can correct for you, right? And then they look good. So, and that was it. That's his body language changed. And suddenly I'm working at Commodore. I mean, it happened like that. Suddenly I'm given my 2-week notice and I'm buying a car that will actually carry me all the way to work and back every day. And yeah, so I got in by luck. But as we say then, keeping the job was what set the good ones apart from the bad ones. So it's just pure luck.